Test 1 2 test. Pineapple. Pineapple. All right, how's it sound?
Perfect.
Perfect pineapple. All right. Ready when you are, sir.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Bro, we're losing our country.
We're losing our country now?
We're losing our country.
Dude, I can't handle that news today on top of all the other news. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my Friday night real quick. I took my wife to go see a comedy show tonight. Had a really fun time. Because of that, I was like, oh, this morning, I was like, let me get all my prep done for the show now so that I'm not trying to do it tonight. So I had like a whole show planned out by like 11 a.m. this morning. I was like ready to go. And then one by one, more things kept happening today and just ruined my day. Like several times I was like, well, we have to talk about that. And then I'm trying to take things out.
Yeah.
And even when I got home tonight, there's breaking news that I just saw that I last minute edited in.
Oh, what did you just see? I'm unaware.
But we'll get to that. I got more pressing news. Oh, hey, real quick, I'm going to tease the fans a little bit here. In the middle of September, you're going off grid for like 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
So I thought about it, and it's like, do I want to not do a show for 2 weeks? You know those people that do like a one-man podcast and just talk into the camera? I can't do that. But like for the algorithm's sake, by the way, like and subscribe if you're listening. We're trying to get our numbers up.
Like and subscribe, comment, leave a voicemail. We don't phone number, but anyway,
leave a voicemail.
Yeah,
let's not go that far.
Phone number. Yeah, go follow us on X. We've been doing some X stuff, some Instagram stuff, and some Blue Sky stuff.
You've been doing all that. Yeah, that's not me, everybody. But anyhow, supposedly to keep the numbers good, you need to post at least 2 or 3 times a week. Like if we take a couple weeks off, it could hurt us in the algorithm. I'm trying to figure out how the algorithm works. So I've been trying to find guest hosts, and I'm swinging for the fences, man. Like I've got a list, and I'm starting to type up emails. I'm trying to make it sound good, but like I'm going for like influencer level people that have they get more views on a single reel on Facebook than all of our combined views for all of our 75 episodes. Like, so there's no reason they should come on our show. Yeah. And I'm telling them that too. I'm like, honestly, like as soon as I tell them that one of my lines that I have figured out is we're getting between 20 and 1,000 views per episode. Like that's our range.
It's true.
And then my next sentence after that is basically going to be like, if you've chosen to stop reading right now, I don't blame you. Like, it's probably a good decision on your part. Like, you've got better uses of your time. We'll see what happens. It might just be me, and we might take 2 weeks off, but I'm swinging for the fences. Anyhow, I'm excited about that. I don't ever do like cold call. Like you sometimes write people emails, like basically a cold call email, trying to get business. I've never done that. So just approaching somebody,
or texts, or whatever.
Anyhow, so you ready for? You ready for the biggest? I got 2 things that are pretty much the biggest breaking news of the week right now. You ready for number 1?
Biggest breaking news of the week. Okay, go for it.
Okay. Have you heard about what's happening at Cracker Barrel?
Oh, yes. Yes.
People are losing their minds, and I don't understand it. And I go to Cracker Barrel. My family goes to Cracker Barrel at least once a month, probably twice a month. Like, we're Cracker Barrel people. My wife loves Cracker Barrel. And like, I saw the new logo. I'm going to put it up on the screen right here. But like, saw the new logo. I have no problem with the change. And I've been going to Cracker Barrel twice a month for the past 15 years. And why is everybody so upset? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Was that guy a racist on there? Or, I mean, the only people that are upset are white nationalists, right?
White Southerners, I feel like.
White Southerners. And they're mad they're changing the logo because there was a white guy on the logo. Is that what it is?
Something about their heritage. Like, it's like this. They keep saying that Cracker Barrel went woke is what they're saying. Like, they've gone woke.
How? They just changed their freaking logo. I'm about to change my logo. It doesn't matter.
If the logo had a rainbow in it now, then I get it. Like, I would totally understand it. But like, everybody's saying they went woke, and like they rebranded. Like, companies rebrand occasionally.
All the time.
Like,
yes.
It's very similar to the original brand. I don't understand it, but like when I think it started Wednesday-ish, and I saw people complaining on Twitter, but I was like, okay, this is dumb. I'm not going to pay any attention. But then for like 3 days in a row, I'm seeing a lot of Cracker Barrel like hate, and like They're being compared to Bud Light. You remember when Bud Light put the trans influencer on a can, and like then
Yeah.
Kid Rock was shooting a machine gun at Bud Light, and anyhow, they're
Yeah.
basically on that level right now. Like they need to save their image with MAGA somehow, and I don't understand it, man.
Well, this is yeah, because MAGA is the only people that eat at Cracker Barrel.
I eat a Cracker Barrel all the time. I love
Do
it. It's
you?
good food. Yeah, we eat there, like I said,
It's
about
not that
twice a
good.
month.
It's not that good.
I only eat there for breakfast.
Their fried catfish is good. Their breakfast, I mean, it's like IHOP for breakfast.
Dude.
It's just bland breakfast.
It's
Love
way
it.
better than IHOP. I went to an IHOP recently, and I was shocked at how terrible the food was. It
What's
was
better,
bland.
Cracker Barrel or Waffle House?
Ooh, I think Cracker Barrel has a better quality of food, but like it's kind of like Waffle House is like going to McDonald's. Like a McDonald's burger is
No.
trash ingredients, but at the same time, like it's delicious.
Is it?
I feel that way
I
about.
haven't had a McDonald's burger in a while, but like, yeah, the breakfast food at Cracker Barrel is horrible compared to like any other breakfast food.
I disagree. I get a thing
Yeah.
called the Grandma Special, and it's like my breakfast, man. It's two pancakes, 2 eggs, a piece of bacon, a piece of sausage, and a piece of ham, and then that like hash brown casserole. That stuff's like crack. It's delicious.
Yeah, but you can't. But if you get the same thing at Waffle House, it tastes way better.
Disagree. I like
And-
Waffle House.
And do you know why? Because they cook it all in grease.
Probably so. I like Waffle House. I'm just telling you that like Cracker Barrel is delicious.
I'll disagree. I've been there for breakfast. It's been a couple years, but
I don't know. I need to go to Waffle House this weekend or not Waffle House, Cracker Barrel, and like try to figure out what exactly is so woke about it. I don't understand it.
there's
I'm
no
curious.
wokeness.
So
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Okay.
that-
So I do have a quiz about this for you.
okay.
You have to guess who wrote this on their Twitter account.
Oh God. Okay.
In college, I worked at Cracker Barrel in Tallahassee. I even gave my life to Christ in the parking lot. Their logo was iconic, and their unique restaurants were a fixture of American culture. No one asked for this woke rebrand. It's time to make Cracker Barrel great again.
It's sad that I know exactly. I'm too online. That was Congressman Byron Donalds, I think, from Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
Saw
tweet
that. I
today.
was just like,
Yeah.
I gave my life to Christ in their parking lot.
You did. Yeah, that's
I
very
wanna see a
common.
video of that.
I wonder which parking lot has claimed more lives for Christ between Waffle House and Cracker Barrel. You know the numbers are higher than they should be.
It's Waffle House for sure.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, at like 2 or 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning. Most people.
Have you ever taken somebody like from the north that's not familiar with Waffle House into a Waffle House?
No, I don't think.
I've done it twice, and let me tell you, they're repulsed by it. They
Yeah.
can't believe we're eating there. They comment on the table being sticky, and it's like the table's always sticky. It's Waffle House. Like you expect a sticky table.
There's syrup sitting right there. There's a
Yeah.
whole jug of syrup
But
right there on the table.
Twice in my life, I've taken somebody to Waffle House for their very first time, and both times they did not leave happy, like at all.
I took an ex to Waffle House one time for the Midwest, and she had never been, and she wasn't repulsed, but she definitely didn't want to go back.
She wasn't impressed at all.
No, there was no impression. I was just like, wasn't that really good? And she's no.
It's an acquired taste. If you grew up with Waffle House, you love Waffle House. If
What's
you've
this
never been in one,
greasy ass breakfast food. It's like the most greasy ass breakfast food you can get.
the All-Star Breakfast, man.
I love it.
The
Yeah.
way to do it, yeah. Plus, I will say their hash browns, two totally different things. But the hash browns at Cracker Barrel, they have hash brown casserole, and it's delicious. I could eat a triple order of that. But at Waffle House, you can get your hash browns like scattered, covered, smothered, chunked, and it's fantastic. So just two different types of hash browns, two different
I
types
do
of
like
food.
the smothered chunk. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's the very first crazy breaking story of the week that we had to talk about. Can't talk about anything else till we address the Cracker Barrel controversy.
It's crazy.
Second thing, this is the first thing that happened today where I literally screamed at my computer. I had a full show ready to go, and all of a sudden I got the news on beside me, and it's like breaking news. The White House and DOJ just released the full transcript and audio of Ghislaine Maxwell talking to Todd Blanche. What was that, about a month ago? Two interviews over 2 days, 10 hours total. So at that point, I'm like, I thought for sure the fact that they were releasing it, I was like, oh, she's going to say Bill Clinton and Bill Gates and Tom Hanks and Oprah and Ellen and like all the, I was like, they're going to try to, I thought for sure. No, it turns out we all have been worried about nothing. Apparently, nothing bad happened ever around Ghislaine Maxwell. She never saw anything. She cleared Trump, Clinton, ever. She didn't throw anybody under the bus. She said she never did anything wrong, and she never even saw Jeffrey do anything wrong. At one point, she said, "Hold on." At one point, she said, uh, I saw so many masseuses there that were happy. I never saw one that was upset. I never saw one not come back. Like, if you're being sexually abused, why would you come back? It's ludicrous. I don't understand. Like, she saw nothing wrong.
So many masseuses
He had a lot of them.
at
Mar-a-Lago,
where were these masseuses at?
his house, I think.
So there was all just masseuses coming and going all day at his house?
I'd imagine once they turn too old, like once they turn
And like
17-ish,
dudes were just coming in to get massages at Jeffrey Epstein's house?
I don't know. I think, I mean, at one point
There's
he
so
had
many
them.
holes in the story.
The Netflix. So it's been a while since I watched the Netflix doc, but like there were like a handful of girls that were like trapped on the island, like they weren't allowed to leave, according to
This
them.
is all on the island?
No, so I mean, they were at his house. They were at his house in Florida, his house in New York. He had them ever. If he traveled, he brought some young ladies along to massage him. I guess I don't know. It's really it to me like it's astonishing that she's now going with like nobody did anything wrong. Like I don't know the fact
Well,
that like
they're setting up for him to pardon. Like he
the
uses the pardon for almost anything, and he's getting what he wants.
so first of all, the fact that the White House released this means that they thought this was good. Like this will help us. Oh, this because what they wanted out of her was to say, A, clear Trump's name. She never saw Trump do anything wrong. Trump was a perfect gentleman, which she said that. And then B, there is no list. Like they wanted those two things out of her, and she gave those two things word for word. She said what they wanted her to say. Also, the interview starts off with Todd Blanche saying like basically like, "Hello, Miss Maxwell. Like we've never met before. We haven't spoken. Nobody's giving you questions in advance. We are not promising to do anything on your behalf to help you out, and you basically have immunity for the day. Like whatever you tell us, we can't charge you with." And so he leads off with all that. Todd Blanche and her lawyer are like buddy buddy. They've been on a podcast together twice in the last year, and like they're very complimentary. It's so this is a conflict big time. But you know that he talked to her lawyer in advance, and I guarantee you we're never going to be able to prove it. But there was some kind of a deal that was passed from lawyer to her that, hey, here's what you need to do, and we'll take care of you. And then she did this interview, and like 3 days later, she's in the minimum security prison in Texas, like the country club pretty much. Yep. So she cleared Trump and said there is, and she said, like, I don't know why anybody, and I've said this for a long time, there's not going to be a little black book list. Like the fact that people thought that we were going to get his list that he kept in his wallet.
There is a little black book list. There's a phone book.
There's a phone book, but like there's all kinds of people in that phone book. Like that. It was all
right. And the guy who ended up with that phone book, because the phone book actually ended up coming from the butler, right?
I think so.
Jeffrey Epstein's butler. And what I was listening to was the guy who ended up with that, the journalist, ended up going through and calling everybody on that list. And he was surprised how many people in that book knew Ghislaine over Jeffrey Epstein.
Really?
Yeah.
I know that was the book that supposedly he had like 7 different phone numbers for Donald Trump or something like that. Yeah. This is back before cell phones, so you had to have Donald Trump's New York number and his Mar-a-Lago number and his Bedminster number, and like any different place he might be staying, his different properties each had a different phone number. Like,
yeah.
I think
Jizzy, I'm gonna start calling her Jizzy actually. I think Jizzy actually was like running. She was like his, not necessarily, maybe his secretary or his like second in charge, but she had the black book with all the numbers, and he goes, "Hey, call Donald Trump," and she's like, I can't get a hold of Donald Trump. Okay, what's Melania's number? Okay, and then what's Jared's number or whoever he goes to next.
According to all the girls that I've seen that came forward and said they were victims, they all said that it was really Ghislaine that like was recruiting them and getting them from place to like she was really running things and providing them. Now her side of the story is completely different. Of like she basically said like I had no clue he was doing that, but based off all these women, I guess he probably was, but I never saw any of it. That's her. She's trying to get out of prison. So her saying that right there is, I'm now like, I can't believe anything she's going to say over this 10-hour period, but.
Oh, is she going to get a trial in front of the
Supreme Court? I don't know if they've agreed to take that case up yet.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
trying. She's trying to get them to hear her out. And she's not even trying to say she's innocent in that case. She's trying to say that the 2007 sweetheart deal applied to her because it applied to Jeffrey Epstein and known and unknown co-conspirators. So like the way they worded it, like anybody in his orbit is part of that plea deal. She kind of has a case there. She
Yeah.
needs to be in prison, but like they gave such a terrible deal at the time that it seems like it might have covered her. Like
Who was in charge of that trial?
Alex Acosta, who, so he was Trump's labor secretary in the first administration, and he ended up having to quit because of all this Epstein stuff, and everybody pulled it together that he was working for Trump still. You know where he's at now? I didn't know this. This is the first time I'm going to say this to you, but like,
Flipping burgers at McDonald's?
not at all. You know how there's one news station that's beyond Fox News that's like going to.
Newsmax.
So he's on the board for Newsmax.
Oh, God.
Doesn't that make so much sense? Because
Yeah.
they're the ones
Yeah.
that were trying to say, like, Ghislaine is a victim and blah, blah, blah. And like Alex Acosta's on their board. I did not know that until the last couple of days, but that is crazy. So, anyhow.
What do you do on the board of Newsmax?
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Epstein, real quick, I got one video I got to play, and it's nothing new, but it cracks me up. We've pointed this out before, but you know those times where Trump is like, well, I really shouldn't say this, or I don't want to say this, but, and then he spills it. Like he does that all the time.
I'm not gonna talk about that. And then he just completely like rambles about it for 45 minutes.
Pay attention because he does that twice in this little clip. But here's Trump from today in the Oval Office. At this point, he knew that the Epstein or that the Ghislaine interview was coming out today, but he didn't let on to it at all. Or maybe he didn't know. But this is him answering a question about Epstein today in the Oval Office.
Your Justice Department is also sending some of the Epstein files over to the House Oversight Committee today. Are you in support of them releasing all of them?
Keeping it open.
If they wanted to release,
people shouldn't be hurt, but I'm in support of keeping it totally open. I couldn't care less. You got a lot of people that it could be mentioned in those files that don't deserve to be. People, because he knew everybody in Palm Beach. I don't know anything about that, but I have said to Pam and everybody else, give them everything you can give them, because it's a Democrat hoax. It's just a hoax. The whole Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax. So we had the greatest 6 months, 7 months in the history of the presidency, and the Democrats don't know what to do, so they keep bringing up that stuff. But it affected them. Bill Clinton was on his plane and went to the island supposedly 28 times. I don't want to bring that up, frankly. You have Larry, whatever his name is, Summers, the head of Harvard, who was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend. Nobody ever talks about that. I mean, but I don't want to hurt Larry Summers, but he was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. No, this is a Democratic hoax to try and get the significance of what we've done over the past 7 months. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They say it's #1 in history.
So many fun parts there. First of all, I love how this turned into a Democratic hoax. The people that have been obsessed with this over the last couple of years are the far right.
No, first of all, Trump looks tired.
Oh my God. Okay.
Sickly. He looks like he's not doing well.
I just saw this right before we started recording, so I didn't pull it. I might pull it for next time. But Alex Jones on his show today was like really sad, and he's sure that Trump is dying. He said that he predicts in the next 12 months Trump's basically going to collapse. He was pointing out the size of Trump's ankles when he met with Putin in Alaska last week, and anyhow, yeah, but it was I always want to laugh at Alex Jones, and I wanted to laugh at this, but also like he was so sad that Trump might be dying that I almost couldn't laugh at it. It was ridiculous.
And Alex Jones actually has some like inside information into Trump's.
You would think so, but yeah, he's very worried that Trump's health is no bueno. But in that clip, Bill Clinton flew on the jet 28 times to the island. They say, I don't want to have to say that, but he did. And then Larry Summers, I don't want to hurt Larry Summers, but he was his best friend. I love how
Trump was his best friend.
So Ghislaine, I believe I tried to read as much as I could of it, but Ghislaine said that no, me and Trump were really friends. Trump didn't really know Epstein that well, which is counter to everything everybody's been saying. And it's like, I think that they went too far on this. Oh yeah. They tried to oh no, Jeffrey never even knew Donald Trump. They didn't do that, but it was almost in that direction. And
is there backlash yet, or what's going on here? So
here's the thing. On just none of the Democrats believe any of this, and they think that this is a cover up.
Yeah.
On the Trump voter side, it appears like half of them are just thrilled that Trump has been cleared and they're ready for this to go away. They're like, okay, see, nothing to see here. She said Trump didn't do anything. Let's move on. Now, the other half.
What half? Like, who are we talking about? Are we talking about like
the hardcore Trump loyalists?
Like, you're talking about like the people who have news stations? Jesse
No,
Watters.
I'm saying people on the public.
Oh, the public is like that.
Post I'm seeing.
And 50% of
It seems like about half. Half are like, they're like basically saying case closed. Like, case closed. Trump didn't do anything. She said nobody did anything because they're so scared that Trump's going to get implicated in this. So any chance they have to just say, moving on, put that in the rearview mirror. We're not talking about Epstein anymore. So that group is they're very happy to try to do that now. Okay. The other half of the group, now this is a funny one. They are not buying this shit. They think Ghislaine is lying. Now, what's funny is they think this is a cover up, but they think that the DOJ, they're out to get Trump, basically. The DOJ is covering this up for Bill Clinton. They're doing this to protect Bill Clinton, is their thought.
The Department of Justice is protecting Bill Clinton.
Yes, that's they.
Kash Patel, who's in charge? Who's the DOJ?
Bondi and Patel. They think are doing. This is a cover up to protect Bill Clinton, but not Trump, but Bill Clinton. Like they're sure that for years they've been sure that Clinton is going to be on this Epstein thing. Like that, of all the people, they think that for good reason. If you know good old Slick Willie, if any politician, and he knew Epstein, so it makes sense. But they want a head on a stake so bad. They want just give us a Democrat and show that he was connected to Epstein and diddling kids. That's all they want, and they're not going to get that, and they're pissed.
So Trump has what, 38% approval right now?
37, 38, something like that.
37, 38. And half of those people, so let's say like 18% of the population thinks that Trump, like they just want to close the books and say Trump is innocent. Like,
I'll say this. I'm not big on statistics, but I think your math is flawed because even though he's got 38% approval, there are people that probably answer to that poll like, no, I don't like what he's doing. But given a head-to-head matchup against a Democrat, they're still going to vote for him. So like, let's just say 50% of the country still is a Trump voter. Half of those people.
50% of voters are Trump.
Yeah, of voters, yes. Because he barely won the popular vote, but he won the popular vote. So
okay, 50%. Okay. Yeah, I mean the math gets skewed. Anyway, either way, all like both sides of that are kind of crazy. Like, oh yeah, let's just wipe this clean and move on. And the other side's like, oh, they're covering this up for Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton.
The people that have been like diehard Epstein conspiracy theorists, like they won't let this go till somebody gets charged. Like give us hopefully a left-wing person, but like somebody else needs to get in trouble for this, and they're not going to be happy unless that happens.
But that crazy stuff is good for us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of it's good for anybody. I don't know how to say it better than that, but like,
well, it's not good for our country at all. But like, it supports our analysis of how crazy they are, both sides.
Yeah, well, both sides of the right, and then some of the left is also crazy. But anyhow, the other lie she said real quick, you know how we've all seen the pictures. I don't know if you have, but like the pictures got out of, I think it was his home in New York where like there were cameras up in the corners of the bedrooms and stuff. Have you ever? She said today that she didn't think there were any recording devices in any of his properties at all. Like she basically said like she'd be shocked if there was a camera in a bedroom. And it's like, we know that the house was wired. Like nobody's disputing that. And then in her interview, she was like, oh, cameras? No, he wouldn't have had cameras. You have to be kidding me, lady.
Dude.
They jumped the shark.
Yeah, it seems like they're going a little far on this.
Yeah, they made it too unbelievable. If she would have said like, oh, I kind of had a feeling Jeffrey was up to something, but I kind of stayed out of it. I didn't know. I wish I had said something, but I didn't. If she would have done that whole thing, more believable. But like, I didn't do anything wrong, and I never saw Jeffrey do anything wrong. And she said like, President Trump, like, I really like him, and I respect what he's done for this country, and I admire how he's the president, and I really like him. Like, she was as flattering as can be to Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, and it seems like the Trump administration is just not good at this type of thing, where they they're not good at covering up. They're not good at hiding things. They're not good at covering things up. They're not good at keeping things secret. They're not good at keeping even national security secrets
No,
secret.
it's
Like
funny.
there's something messed up with the whole administration that they just can't get anything right, but somehow they finagle their way and they talk about how they're the best at everything and people believe them.
I It's funny that you said they can't even cover it up right. Because on the way to the comedy show tonight, I was telling my wife about the Ghislaine interview coming out and blah blah blah. And at one point she goes, "It's just depressing." And I told her, I said, "You know what's depressing is the fact that they're so terrible at cover-ups. Like it makes me worried. Like what if disaster strikes one day? Like I don't trust these people. Like they during the first Trump administration, one of his scandals, like maybe it was the Ukraine phone call or whatever it was, but I remember a reporter said, because people were saying this is like Watergate, and he was like, no, no, this is stupid Watergate. Like the fact that any of this is getting out is ridiculous, and like they can't even cover up good. Like what are, but the problem is they don't really have to because their side doesn't care. Like they only have to kind of cover it up, and it's good enough for their voters.
And that's what they're doing. They're just
Yeah.
half-ass covering it up. Oh, Ghislaine came out. Here's 10 hours of bullshit. Yeah, that you can obviously tell is bullshit because it goes against everything like the court system has said.
Yeah. And they also sent the first batch of Epstein documents to the House Select Committee or whatever committee's overlooking this, and we haven't seen what that was yet. I guarantee you they picked because they've had thousands of FBI agents going through and like combing through and removing Trump's name from stuff. So like whatever they actually turned over is going to be nothing that's going to hurt Trump whatsoever.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course. Oh, and they never whatever happened to they were supposed to release something and they never did. Oh, the video. Remember how they cut the video? They had there was
the
proof that the video was cut. They said it was 1 minute and it was automatic, and then it turns out it's actually 3 minutes that are missing, and we're gonna release that as just next week. We're gonna release it. It's been like 2 months, a month.
3 minutes were missing, and it also they could see that like the video had been edited in like Adobe. I don't know how they can see the data on it or whatever, but yeah. So I don't. The fact that they're so sloppy with their lies to us is bothering me. Like I expect the government to lie to me, but like make it to where I don't know you're lying to me. The fact that I know you're lying to me bothers me more than anything.
Please.
Yeah.
So, December 9th, 2020, after about 40 hours of deliberation over 6 days, Maxwell was found guilty on 5 of the 6 counts of sex trafficking and conspiracy. Yeah.
Okay.
So 40 hours of deliberation and she was found guilty.
And I've seen a handful of girls on the different news channels that like their whole story is that like Ghislaine is the one that like found them and offered them a job and took them and then like led them into a room at one point where there was a naked Jeffrey Epstein and like basically coerced them into doing stuff and like so.
Yeah, I remember reading one account where she was like standing, like Jeffrey was getting a massage and she was like Maxwell was standing over them and like making them do stuff.
A couple of the girls said she joined in with the stuff, so I don't. Yeah, I don't. Anyhow,
let me show you how to do this. I mean, this is how
she's gonna ride out the next 3.5 years in that like country club of a prison, and then that'll be one of his last things he does is pardon her. I have a feeling he's not gonna pardon her now. I don't think he might, but I think he's gonna say, "Hey, ride it out for 3 years in this cushy prison." Yeah. And I'll pardon you on the way out. So that's what I'm thinking.
Unless you're probably right.
Unless if Alex Jones is right and he's going to drop in the next 12 months, then I don't know if JD will have the same deal. So
yeah, interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, Maxwell might be pushing for. What if he does tank and then she just like releases it all? She just goes, okay, this is the time. I'm not getting released. Let me stay here. This is everything. I'm writing a book. I'm going to make $1 million in jail.
The thing is, I would have thought what my initial thought is she'll say whoever's in power, she'll say whatever she has to say to get out. So like if Trump's in power, she would throw Democrats under the bus. If the Democrats get in power, she'll throw Trump under. But like she had the opportunity this time to throw Clinton under the bus. And they asked her point blank about Bill Clinton. And she said, no, I never. She said she never saw him receive a massage or anything. And this always bothers me. the Republicans always say like, "Oh, Bill Clinton went to the island 28 times." Okay, I think it's 27 is the number, but like he flew on the plane for 27 flights. It's in the flight logs. None of the
Yeah.
ones that we can prove, none of those went to the island. It was him and Chris Tucker, the guy from Rush Hour, and several reporters, and they went on like an African some kind of a missionary type thing where they were going country to country and giving people things, and reporters were there. And Jeffrey Epstein wasn't even on that flight. He basically gave his plane for the charity, the Clinton Foundation, to use. And every different leg of the flight is a different flight. So it shows up as 28, but it was all the different places they went. And like I said,
one flight?
I think
One
it was
trip?
one big trip is what I've been told. Okay. So
28 stops?
I think there is one guy that claims he was like a maintenance worker on the island, and he claims that he saw Bill Clinton on the island. There's one guy that says that. He maybe if Bill went, he didn't fly on Epstein's plane. Maybe he did go. I don't know. But like, there's no evidence that he went there 28 times, and like it was 27 first of all, and they just Trump every now and then just adds to the lie for no reason. Like it's 27 is the number we've all agreed upon, and all of a sudden he's like 30 or whatever.
But it's 27 legs of one flight, basically, is what he flew on a flight on Jeffrey Epstein's plane.
That is the like the fact checks that I've seen. That's what they say. So
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
again, it wasn't with Jeffrey and several women. It was the media and a couple celebrities and Bill, and it was something for the Clinton Foundation where they were going to Africa. I don't know.
yeah, and it doesn't sound like you have to go to his island to get the Epstein treatment.
No, he had a ranch in New Mexico, a place in New York, a place in Palm Beach or whatever. Like, he probably had more.
Yeah, he had like a massage parlor in. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't think he was
In Florida. I was going to say in Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right there by there. This is where what's his name got
Robert Kraft.
Kraft got arrested. Yeah.
It's for another time. So
I'm putting pieces together here.
I like it. So I got to tell you, every now and then, I admit when you were definitely right about something, like the Gaza thing. Like, we spent a year arguing where you were like, what they're doing in Gaza is not right. And I was like, well, Docs, like, here's the thing. Like, you got to get Hamas out. And if they go in and they go house to house, like, invasion style, like, more civilians are going to die. So
But they weren't doing that. They were just bombing places.
But I was telling you that, like, targeted strikes is really the way you're going to get the least amount of civilian casualties. And for like a year, I stuck to that. And then eventually at one point, it was like, Docs, I think you're right. Like, we got a problem in Gaza. Like, what Israel's doing. It took me way longer than it took you. So you spotted that, okay? I'm ready to give you your second bit of props here.
Okay.
We might have a like authoritarian fascist type problem going on. You've been screaming that at me for a while, and I keep telling you that
since he got elected. Since before he got elected.
And I keep telling you that like no, like we're heading that way. We're heading that way. We're pointed in that direction. We're not quite there yet. Like, I think today I started to realize I think we're there.
Okay. All right.
Docs has been trying to warn me.
Hold on. Should I bring up my list from last time?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and fill us in.
Okay. So let's see. When was that? 18.
8/18, yeah.
Okay. So authoritarianism. This is where you start, and it starts with forcibly coordinating the narratives of law firms, media, universities, and museums, which he's doing.
Okay.
And then it goes into totalitarianism. You bringing in military action, overriding local police with the military, expanding ICE detention facilities, or expanding any kind of like detention facilities. But ICE is kind of where they're going with this. But I did see Alligator Alcatraz got turned down today.
It's probably going to get appealed, but for now,
Yeah.
judge's orders to shut it down within 60 days, no new people in or out, but they're going to appeal that higher. I don't think that's over yet. Go ahead.
And I think once you hit authoritarianism plus totalitarianism, you are fascist, and then you have to control the elections, and then you have fascism, right?
So I was looking today because I wanted to be specific of are we fascist, authoritarian? So fascism is a type of authoritarianism. Not all authoritarians are fascist, but all
Yes.
fascists are authoritarians, apparently, from the definitions
Yes.
I read.
Well, I
So,
just gave you the list. So it
yeah,
starts with authoritarianism into totalitarianism, equaling fascism if
okay.
you add a couple more
And
things.
but and we're going to talk about this in a little bit later, but like he's also doing a little bit of like socialism. So like he doesn't really have an ideology. So he's kind of doing a little bit of a lot of things. Like this is
But but Hitler was a socialist.
the National Socialist Party, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Yeah. What socialism is Trump doing?
so I think we officially did it today, but the government bought 10% of Intel stock, so they have the largest controlling stake of Intel. He also, with the steel merger that happened, like somehow the government got a piece of that, and now the government owns 10%. Like
That's not socialism. That's authoritarianism, isn't it?
there's a lot of people that think it's socialist. Even let's jump ahead a little bit here, but I got one video for you on this, and this is a guy that I like. He's a
The,
Repub.
but hold on. Why is the
Okay.
U.S. buying stock?
I
Has
don't.
the U.S. government ever bought stock?
He basically ordered them to fire their CEO because I think it was one of those deals where like Laura Loomer pointed out that their CEO has connections to the Communist Chinese Party it was something dumb like that. So then he started tweeting that they needed to fire their CEO, and then they did, and then he like got a deal to buy 10% of their stock.
Who
Um,
bought it? The U.S. government or
the
him?
U.S. government owns it, and
What? Do
and
we own
Trump's
any other stock?
I don't think so. Trump's like celebrating it. There are some
Listen,
Republicans that are not down with this. What are you looking at?
I'm just trying to figure out what this is called when the government starts buying. What is it? Yeah.
It's communism or socialism.
I think it's
Like
communism.
state-owned companies.
Yeah. Like, well, because China owns a bunch, like pretty much
Yeah,
owns all the companies, right?
they got a piece of them, a
And
controlling interest.
that's communism. So he's a little bit of communist?
I don't like I said, he's kind of all over the place. Real quick, I've played this guy for you before. This is Eric Erickson, and he's a Republican, but I really like him because he's one of the Republicans that like is not afraid to call out Trump if Trump does something wrong. Like he doesn't kiss Trump's butt at all. He's lost a big part of his audience. This guy used to be really popular. Now he's not because he won't kiss Trump's ass. But check this out real quick. This is Eric Erickson. I think this clip's from CNN.
The U.S. government would become the largest shareholder of Intel. This is actual socialism happening by a Republican administration. This is a horrible precedent. This is socialism. All of you people were freaked out about Mamdani in New York City wanting government-run grocery stores and saying the people need to seize the means of production. That's what Harold Lutnick is doing right now, saying that the government must seize the controlling interest in Intel, the means of production, in order to get government money. You can't just be against socialism when the left does it.
He's right on everything he said. If you got a problem with what you think Mamdani wants to do and you're cool with what Trump's doing right now, like it's the same thing, brother. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Well, what does Mom Downey want to do? He doesn't want to do that.
And so from what I understand, the whole like city-run grocery stores like that's the same thing. That's the local city government having a business or a stake in a business. In his case, it'd be a grocery store. It's not much different from the government having a stake in a chip manufacturer when you look at it. I mean, the government shouldn't have a stake in any companies that
Well,
we're buying stuff
hold
from.
on. The problem is, I guess it is a little bit of socialism. It's a little bit of. I'm not opposed to socialism when it comes to helping out the community by opening up a grocery store, right? Because there's
Okay.
food deserts all throughout New York. There's food deserts.
Mhm.
There's not a grocery store in a 30-block radius in parts of New York, right? Or however I don't know exactly the numbers, but in a giant radius where
No
people
clue.
can't get food. So that what they do is they end up going to the gas station and buying bullshit. And they buy
Yeah.
packaged food, they buy, roller hot dogs. That's all they're eating because they can't go to the grocery store. Or they go to McDonald's or Burger King or whatever. Like it's called a food desert where you don't have
Yeah.
a grocery store. So he wants to put grocery stores, and New York used to have that. You have like a kind of a government-run grocery store where they provide a place for people, underprivileged people, to go and purchase groceries.
The way that capitalism would generally work, though, is you would provide incentives to get a grocery store company to come in, be tax incentives or whatever, to come in and open a store there. But the government doesn't own any part of it. And like where the difference is that what he's suggesting is like government owned and government run grocery stores, just different ways of doing it.
Yeah. I don't see any problem with that. It's kind of like a SNAP program, right? Basically. But
I mean,
but SNAP, you get free food, right? Here you actually have to pay for it, and it's like on a discount. But it's from the government. It's kind of a
yeah,
incentive for people to eat healthier.
it is. Like I said, I wish they were giving an incentive for a company to come in and do it, not have the government do it. But we can argue about socialism on another day.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Is like King Super or Kroger isn't gonna do that. They're not gonna if they had an incentive to build a grocery store in that area, they would have. But
That's
they
the
don't
thing.
want
The
to
government's got to figure out how much incentive they got to get somebody to come in here. They might have to give up a lot, but that's in capitalism. That's how it normally works. So,
Well, what do you think about SNAP? That's a socialist program, right?
oh, I mean, there's so many parts of our government that are socialist programs. I mean, elementary schools and fire departments are not just all schools, K through 12, fire departments, police departments. We have a lot of
Yeah.
socialism sprinkled into how we're doing things.
Why is Trump trying to own Intel? Or
Don't
why is
know.
he buying it on the behalf of our government? That's what I want to know.
The first answer is because he's not a conservative. Like he's not. I've said this forever, but like he's not a conservative Republican.
He's a grifter. He's a grifter,
Yeah.
first and foremost.
His ideology is all over the place. That's the key thing.
Yeah.
Do you know who Tina Peters is?
No.
Tina Peters is an election clerk in Colorado in Mesa County. Do you know where Mesa County is?
Is that in California? Southern
It's in
California?
Colorado.
Oh,
So anyhow, so this lady, she's been in the news a lot over the past couple of years. She was the county clerk for Mesa County. When Trump was doing the whole Stop the Steal stuff and all that, apparently, like, she was in some right-wing groups that, whatever, and she turned the cameras off and let a couple of, like, the Trump team in to, like, download data from the election machines to try to prove that it was rigged. And she got caught. She got sentenced, I don't know, half a year ago. She's serving 9 years, I want to say. She's an old lady. She's in her late 60s, early 70s. Anyhow, here's Trump's tweet from today. And she's kind of, remember the lady that got shot on January 6th, Ashley Babbitt? And that's kind of like their rally cry. Tina Peters is like a minor version of that. Like, we're going to free Tina Peters. So here's Trump today. Free Tina Peters, a brave and innocent patriot who has been tortured by the crooked Colorado politicians, including the big mail-in ballot supporting governor of the state. Let Tina Peters out of jail right now, in all caps. She did nothing wrong except catching the Democrats cheat in the election. She is an old woman and very sick. If she is not released, I'm going to take harsh measures. The whole tweet's a typical Trump tweet until the end there. If you don't release her, I'm going to take harsh measures. Like that, the president has no control over state crimes and people that are in had that happened in Trump's first term, that would have been like an oh shit moment. Everybody like, whoa, we just crossed the Rubicon. What's going on here? But because we're where we are today, like he did that today, and it was barely one of the big deals. Like,
it's crazy.
It's crazy that we're not all alarmed by that. Like that really was nothing new today, and that's a big deal. The other picture,
I'm more alarmed by today. He said that he's going into Chicago next. Chicago's his next target.
We're so close to getting to that. There's more on that. There's more on that I'll bet you haven't seen yet. But the other picture I sent you, DC mayor today, he's been yelling at the DC mayor for a while. Everybody's pointing out that the crime statistics were on the way down in DC. They spiked back up
at a 30% low, like a 30-year low.
Well, they had spiked up in 2022 or 2023, one of those years, and then they were heading back down. Yesterday, by the way, the CDC took down its webpage that it had showed that red states have homicide rates higher than blue states, and everybody kept pointing that out. So the government just deleted that page. So that's controlling the information right there. That's
for sure.
That's authoritarian or fascism. I don't really know. But then to the DC mayor, he had this tweet this morning. It's kind of along the same lines. Washington, D.C. is safe again. The crowds are coming back. The spirit is high, and our D.C. National Guard and police are doing a fantastic job. They're out in force and are not playing games. As bad as it sounds to say, there were no murders this week for the first time in memory. By the way, there's been several weeks without murders just in the past 3 months. Like, that's not at all accurate. Mayor Muriel Bowser must immediately stop giving false and highly inaccurate crime figures, or bad things will happen, including a complete and total federal takeover of the city of Washington, D.C. will soon be great again. I have so many problems with this. First of all, her and the media keep giving out the crime stats, and now Trump is saying those are lies, they're wrong, and they took away their own crime stat page, so we can't see what the government thinks they were. But she must immediately stop giving false and highly inaccurate crime figures, or bad things will happen, including a complete and federal takeover of the city. He's threatening the whole point of America is like in the Constitution, any right that's not implicitly given to the federal government belongs to the states. Like that's the whole thing. And then there's the argument about states' rights versus federal, whatever. But like he's just crossed that. And he said the other day, I didn't even pull this tweet, but he said that like the cities and states basically answer to the federal government, like they are agents of the federal government or something like that. It's like, no, that's exactly the opposite of what the Constitution says. Like exactly the opposite.
Yeah. The problem is Washington, D.C. is not a state. So he has some authority.
It's a federal city
of kind of taking over Washington. That's his starting point, right? And I have a feeling it's like Putin. If he gets Ukraine, he's gonna keep going.
So
if Trump gets DC, he's gonna keep going.
The news that you probably haven't seen. And I got home tonight and I sat down on my computer and I turned on the news to have on beside me, and I immediately like my tongue dropped out and I was like, what? Like you leave the TV for 2 or 3 hours and all kinds of new stuff happens. So
don't leave your TV, Andy.
Friday night news dump is where anyhow, check this out. Yeah. Check this out from Fox News real quick.
And tonight, 1,700 National Guard troops are now set to mobilize across 19 states over the coming weeks. They are going to help Homeland Security execute a sweeping federal crime and immigration crackdown that is underway now. The order is effective August through mid-November, Fox News is learning. And a U.S. defense official tells Jackie Heinrich and Liz Frieden the National Guard being mobilized will effectively serve as a support pillar.
Thoughts?
We're fucked. We're completely and utterly fucked. This is not America. That's not America. That is a insane fuckery of fuckery. Dude, what the fuck? I'm just going to keep saying fuck because that's all I can say right now.
You're hurting us in the algorithm. Yeah. Say darn it. What they say, 1,700 troops. So what was the number? Was it 1,700 troops over 9 states?
19
states?
I'll watch it again. Hold on. Yeah. What was that?
Tonight, 1,700 National Guard.
1,700 over 19 states.
That must be 1,700 per state. Because if it's 1,700 for 19 states, that means less than 100 per state. What's that going to do?
No. Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
The math is right on that. That's like 80, 85 per state or something like that.
Tonight, 1,700 National Guard troops are now set to mobilize across 19 states over the coming weeks.
Across 1,700 across 19 states. So that's less than 100.
It sounds like a big number at first, but it's not. But it sounds like a big number.
So they're putting like 85 per state.
I guess. I mean, like I said, I'm confused. I don't understand it, but it's part of a crackdown on immigration and crime. So let me ask you this. How many, if you had a guess, if you had to put money on it, how many of those states are going to be red states?
0.
He's going to take over the blue states. Like that's what I hope I'm proven wrong. And I hope when we see what states, maybe some of the cities with the highest crime problem are like Jackson, Mississippi and Jacksonville, Florida, and like places like that.
Yeah.
They could use some help, but I think he's going to go after...
The red states have a significantly higher per capita crime rate than the blue states do.
Yes.
And you know why? Because the blue states are way better at everything. They're way better at education. They're way better at healthcare. They're way better at everything. That's why the blue states have less crime, because good people go to blue states.
I think that I would love to say that you're correct on that. I think it's a numbers thing to a degree. Like,
What's the reddest state in the country?
Oklahoma.
Who has the worst education in the country?
Oklahoma. I would say it's either Oklahoma or Mississippi is the reddest, but like
And
Oklahoma's
you two have the worst education.
I think we're in the bottom 5 for sure.
Yeah,
And bottom 5 and
Oklahoma's 48th.
Oklahoma's 50th now in education. We were 49th, but we jumped all the way to 50th.
Oh, nice. You guys just slamming it.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Who has the best education?
Massachusetts or one of those states.
Blue state.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. I mean, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying. There's a part of it's a numbers game where it's like because it's per capita, but it's a percentage of how many people live in the state. So like, there's way more murders in California than there are in Mississippi, but because the population is so high as a percentage per capita, whatever, it's lower. But states have problems. All states have problems. There's no perfect state.
Sure.
Massachusetts seems pretty good though. Whenever I see that, there's a meme where it's Oklahoma and Massachusetts, and Oklahoma's like bottom 5 in every metric, and then Massachusetts is top 5. It's like, wow, like I should move to Massachusetts. So anyhow,
what's the cost of living there?
I don't know. It's pretty solid in Oklahoma though, I'll tell you that. But yeah, I'm gonna say, I don't know. I'm thinking that she meant 1,700 per state instead of 1,700 over 19 states. Maybe I'm wrong.
We'll see. That's crazy though. That is definitely totalitarianism.
Yeah, and then
coming into fruition.
I had pulled some clips on this, but we're not going to use them. But then the other thing this morning, did you see the raid that happened this morning? Like I got up at 6:30 and it was already happening, so I don't know what time it started. But Trump raided John Bolton's house. The FBI raided John Bolton's house this morning. They were there looking for classified documents. I'm going to be real quick with this, but Bolton wrote a book. He was Trump's national security advisor for like 18 months, and then Trump fired him. And then he wrote a book slamming Trump. And he had to submit it for review by like the intelligence community to make sure he wasn't putting out anything top secret. And they drug their feet on it for like a year. It was forever. And then they gave it back to him and told him to make one change. Then he resubmitted it to show the change, and they drug it out for like another year. And I think he just went ahead and published it before they finished the second review. And he's been in the intelligence game for a while. And he basically said, I know what's allowed and what's not allowed. This is fine. I'm publishing it. So he did. They opened an investigation into him in 2020, and then Trump ended up losing. And I think the Biden DOJ like closed the investigation into him. So case closed. Their argument is that he has classified documents at his house. Exactly why they raided Mar-a-Lago for Trump. Same exact thing.
Except for they didn't ask him for them first.
They didn't. But
they asked Trump multiple times, "Can we get those documents back?" And he said, "We don't have them."
Exactly. Now, I think John Bolton's a smart guy, but I'm going to tell you right now, he's known. Like one of the clips I had was on ABC like 12 days ago. They were like, hey, like Trump's clearly going to come after you, right? And he fully agreed. He's like, yep. He's like, I'm ready for it. If he didn't burn those or destroy those, if he still had them sitting around his house today and was surprised by a raid by the FBI and they find classified documents, he should go to jail for being stupid. You know that they're going to come after you. So if he's holding on to anything, see you later. But also, I'm going to reserve, I'm holding out my judgment on this one. Like every bit of me wants to say this is like a politically motivated, like he's going after his enemies. It's the retribution stuff. There's also a chance that John Bolton worked in many administrations. I'd say there's a good chance he probably had some classified docs laying around. Hopefully he got rid of them. Hopefully he did his own sweep because he knew Trump was eventually going to come after him. But the odds that he has something in his house are not zero. So like I don't want to go too far out saying this is like they went after Bolton. Like what if it turns out Bolton had a stack of classified docs?
Doubt it.
Maybe not. I'm going to say
no. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that John Bolton is so tied into that that world that he doesn't need to hold on to classified docs.
Maybe.
I don't know. I would assume that he has ties still in that world where he could go and like look up some documents, or
he couldn't
read all of them.
He still had his security clearance until like 5 months ago. Like when Trump got into office, he stripped his security clearance, and also Iran apparently like had been trying to assassinate Trump and John Bolton. And Trump canceled Bolton's security detail or whatever, basically just leaving him hung out to dry.
Like just a complete dick.
Yeah. So And it was all for the killing of Soleimani, the Iranian general that like Trump bragged about it, and then they basically said, okay, we're going to kill you and Bolton now. And
Mm-hmm.
anyhow,
Yeah. Well, John Bolton is a warmonger too.
he is.
He's never seen a war he doesn't like, right?
If you're Trump and you want it, you want retribution, you want to go after one of your enemies. Bolton is the best one to go after because nobody on the left is going to feel super sorry for Bolton. Like they're going to say, "Hey, this is a witch hunt" or whatever. But like, we don't feel bad for Bolton. If you're on the left, you don't care for Bolton at all. If you're on the right and you're one of the Warhawk Republicans, then John Bolton's your guy. But even like a lot of the right now is totally against the foreign wars, so I don't think that he has a big fan base. He's got a small sliver of the Republican Party still.
The thing that's scary is Kash Patel had, man, I would like, we need to look that list up. Like, who's on that list? Because Kash Patel had an enemies list, right?
His retribution list. Bolton was on it.
Yeah. So this is number one, right?
I don't know if Bolton was number one. Obama
Was
is
this,
probably.
but was this the first one that they actually went after?
Yeah, so they said they're going after like Brennan and Clapper and like all the other like intel chiefs under Biden and Obama, but they haven't actually done it yet. So,
Okay.
and also the other reason I'm not going to jump on this Bolton thing so far is because they had real quick, they had to get a search warrant approved by a judge to go into his house this morning. So if a judge approved a search warrant, they might have some evidence on him, is all I'm saying. What did you just see?
So examples of recent investigations. Since Patel's confirmation as FBI director, several individuals named in his book have faced scrutiny or federal investigation. John Bolton, Miles Taylor, James Comey, John Brennan, Alexander Vindman.
Clapper should be on there too, I believe.
Has he been?
Yeah, he's being investigated apparently.
He's being investigated. Okay, so
Yeah.
what does Patel? I mean, dude, what does Patel have against these people? Like, isn't he just a goofy Fox News host?
I don't know. I think he wrote a book about like he has literally like a retribution list in a book he wrote.
Yeah. But isn't he a Fox News host?
No, I mean he worked in the first Trump administration. He did something like the Department of Defense in the first Trump administration.
Okay.
And then I think he just did like he went on the podcast circuit. Like I don't think he ever had his own podcast, but he was going on all the right-wing podcasts for the last 4 years and writing books. He wrote a children's book that was like a pro-Trump children's book, I believe.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, man. Like what? This is
I don't know.
crazy. We're definitely leading towards fascism, and I don't think we're gonna know if it's fascism until the 2026 elections.
Yeah,
And then the 2028 elections if it doesn't show up there.
I think you're right. And like I said, I've been really not wanting to be alarmist and be like, oh, this is authoritarian, this is fascism. But like even today, this morning, Trump did he did it yesterday and did it today where he's like just going out and walking through the streets of Washington with like a huge security detail around him, but like to prove how cleaned up he has it. And people were pointing out like authoritarian dictators do that kind of stuff all the time because they try to show like, oh, I'm a man of the people. I'm out on the streets, and it's for the imagery. But also, he was wearing a suit with no tie today, and one of his red hats. And this one said, "Trump was right about everything." And I've seen this hat before. Something I learned today that I didn't know. That's kind of a takeoff of an old Mussolini phrase. There was like a Mussolini slogan going around back in the 1930s, I guess, early 40s, and it was, what is it? Mussolini is always right. That was a big, and that was straight fascism. So Mussolini is always right. Trump was right about everything.
And Mussolini's the one that tanked their entire government, their entire economy, and people were starving, and he still wouldn't change his ways. He's just continued to.
I don't know how Italy was doing in the lead up to World War II. I think they were thriving. I think there were some good years under Mussolini, and then like because of the war, the country started. There was famine going on and all that, but that was because of the war. And at one point, the Italian I should have done more homework on this, but at one point, the Italian government threw him out and tried to like end the war, and Hitler had the Nazi SS rescued him from the prison he was being like exiled in and brought him back and tried to get him into power, and then that's when he got hung like not much longer after that by the people.
Oh, that sounds like what we're trying to do in Venezuela right now.
Oh, dude, and That's another trippy thing. I saw tonight that Venezuela mobilized their like militias because we have like 4,000 Marines and a couple ships like right off their coast, and they've asked like Trump and JD Vance like what we're up to, and they're both being like, we're not going to tip our hand yet, and it's like, would you please say you're not going to invade them? Because I okay.
No, I think they're just going to invade that prison that what's his name's in, and they're going to release him. Or are they going to try and put him back in power down there?
So you're thinking about Brazil, I think, with Bolsonaro.
Yes.
This is Venezuela, which Venezuela has Maduro, and Maduro is the leader of Venezuela. And we had like, I think just a couple weeks ago, we put out a $50 million like bounty, like a reward on his head. And it's like, that's the leader of a nation, and we're putting a dead or alive bounty on him. Like, that's interesting.
That's a war. Yeah.
It's
that's an act of war, right?
No new wars. All the Trump people that said they were voting for Trump for no new wars, and he is dabbling with a couple different conflicts right now where I'm just like,
dude, and let's just say, I mean, 50, it's okay. Let's just say another country puts out a $50,000 reward on Trump's head. Or $50 million, whatever.
He would say that's an act of war.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's an act of war. And he wants the Nobel Peace Prize?
Yeah.
Here you go. If you want the Nobel Peace Prize, save the Palestinians. Go in there and save the Palestinians, create a two-state solution, do what you need to do.
I don't know if you saw, but Israel officially started invading Gaza City and like northern Gaza yesterday.
Yeah.
And they asked Trump about it, and Trump's A-okay with it. Like
it's fucking done.
I wish they would go ahead and give him the Nobel Peace Prize. Like, I'm being honest about this. Go ahead and give it to him, because he's trying to get it so bad. He's going to keep getting us into shit and then trying to solve it and be like, oh, look, I should. It's going to be better for us if
he's not trying to solve anything. He's just getting us into shit.
He says now he's ended 7 wars, is what he's saying now. It was 6 for a while, but now he has a 7th. People on like Twitter are asking Grok to fact check that all day long, and Grok is like, no, that's definitely an overstatement. Like, here's what he's actually done. And
yeah, well, both India and Pakistan, that's the biggest one, right? India and Pakistan both said like, no.
So I think Pakistan actually came out and said like, oh, Trump was very helpful in this, and India came out and said like, no, he's really pissing India off. India and China are talking a lot right now, and that's bad for us. But
everything's bad for everything he does is bad for us, but it's good for him.
It's good for certain people in this country, normally the billionaires. So
yeah.
Speaking of China real quick, you know how I've said several times that like China for the most part, but even Russia to a degree, like they have to be looking at some of the shit we're doing and just like celebrating. They're like, oh, I couldn't have dreamed. Like, we've worked for so hard to get America to do this, and now they're just doing it to themselves. You know that whole thing?
Well, I think Russia kind of has him. Like, there was that whole thing where he went over to Russia and he had a pageant, and when he came back, like he was pro. What was it?
He was already talking like glowingly about Putin before that. John Bolton, who we were talking about, John Bolton does not have anything to stop him from going after Trump. And he's said on the record several times, he's like, no, I don't think they have compromise over him. I think that he looks up to Vladimir Putin like he's the older kid, the star of the football team, and he just wants to be his friend. Like, John Bolton firmly believes that it's some kind of weird admiration, but he doesn't think that there's actual like they have compromise on him. It's just like he just adores Putin for whatever reason. He always has. In like 2013, he went over to Russia in I think 2014 for that Miss World pageant or whatever, and like he was on Howard Stern and other shows like, oh yeah, like I really hope I get to meet Vladimir over there. Oh, Vladimir's such a good guy. Like, he's been talking good about Vladimir forever. Also, a lot of his money was coming from Russia, and maybe that has a lot to do with it.
There was some money coming from there, but when Trump came back, he had a new idea that he started promoting. Was it Obama's birth certificate?
No, he started that in 2010.
Huh.
I think 2009, actually. Yeah, maybe he came back from that and suddenly didn't think NATO's a good idea. I could see that.
That might have been what it was. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
I could see that.
Yeah, he started talking shit about NATO whenever after he came back from Russia the first time.
Yeah, I can see
that. Either way, like, Trump's a bad person, man.
Well, he is, but on the China-Russia subject real quick, did you see what Tulsi just did?
No.
This is another, if you're China and Russia, you can't believe your luck. Like, how great is everything going? Check this out real quick. This is from MSNBC. It'll explain it way better than I will.
For one thing, she's doing away with the Foreign Malign Influence Center, which was a group of intelligence officials tasked with looking at the way that foreign governments try to manipulate American public opinion and secretly inject propaganda into social media. The FBI has already eliminated their Foreign Influence Task Force, and the CISA, the infrastructure agency, stopped looking at it. So right now, what that means is that if the Chinese government decided they wanted to start subtly, secretly injecting propaganda into TikTok to influence Americans, it's not clear that anybody in the U.S. government would learn about that. It's not clear that anyone is looking at this issue. So people I talk to wonder why that decision was made. And obviously part of it is that this goes back to the Russia investigation that Donald Trump didn't like.
Ask yourself this. If you're truly America first, why would the administration be eliminating agencies that monitor foreign efforts to influence public affairs or public sentiment and cyber threats? Like, why?
It's not a good idea, whatever it is.
And then they said the FBI has already ended their foreign affairs or, foreign influence campaign department. Like, what are we doing? Like, we're just not even looking for it anymore.
Oh, yeah. And then he's mobilizing troops around the world, so they're not paying attention to what's going on either. Like, yeah, we are very vulnerable right now. The thing that protects us is that we're so far away from everybody else.
It's the only thing. And like, it's a game that we all play. Like, the biggest countries in the world are all screwing around in the other country, like trying to influence the citizens one way or another. We're doing it to China and Russia. They're each doing it to us, and they're probably doing it to each other too. It's how the game is played. Yeah. But like, now the two groups that we had that were trying to spot what each country was doing, we just don't have. They fired all of them. Like, and Tulsi said that she's getting rid of bloat, like the bureaucratic bloat in the agency, and blah. If this work is being shifted to another department, please tell me now. Like, oh no, we're still going to be doing that, but we had too many people, and maybe that's the case. She's not saying that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
China must have been high-fiving. Like, oh shit, like they're not.
Oh, they're not going to pay attention to our TikTok stuff now.
And also, TikTok is not supposed to be being used in the United States. Trump gave them like a 90-day extension, and I think that ends in like 2 or 3 days, and nobody's really talking about it, and he's just going to give them another extension. They were either supposed to sell the American TikTok to an American company or it gets closed down, and nothing's going to happen. Like, we're just still TikTok. Maybe, in fact, the White House created a TikTok account like 2 or 3 days ago, and when asked about it, they basically had nothing to say. They were just like, yeah, well, we're on TikTok. Deal with it.
TikTok is, I mean, I don't have TikTok, but I get like, for whatever reason, it's either Facebook or Instagram or both of them. They like show you some TikTok stuff, and when you click on it, it goes to TikTok, right? But like, it's very intriguing what they're putting out there.
I believe it. I mean, they're not allowed to have TikTok on government phones. No government devices are allowed to have TikTok because apparently there's
$20 says Hegseth has it on his phone.
Oh, that one. And what are they putting out this White House propaganda on? I'm guessing it's probably a government device. So
yeah.
And nobody's following the rules anymore. So, like I said, Russia and China, congratulations. Tulsi Gabbard is helping you in every way she can. Super.
Oh my gosh, man! Like, it's almost like here's the thing: is we had like our country was under control. Our country was basically under control, and then we basically just threw everything out the window.
Our country could have been doing better under Biden. There were certain things that I would have changed that could have been doing better.
Sure.
Some of it was hard to control. Like inflation was clearly a problem.
It was getting better. He was working. It was getting better. It was going down at the rate that it should have been going down, right?
Trying to stop inflation and reverse it is really hard. The government, really the only way they can do it is by instituting price controls, and America ain't about price controls. So, but like there were definitely some issues, but it wasn't so broken that we just had to let's just blow it up and start all over. Like, we weren't to that point.
No, we're losing our country, Andy.
We sound like our buddies that are like, I just want my country back.
That's like exactly what I'm saying.
Pretty soon we're gonna.
That's what I'm saying. As we're taking our country back, we're losing our country. This is what I'm saying. We are losing our country.
You got another year and a half till the midterms, and even if the Democrats retake the House in the midterms, all they can really do is like annoy Trump with investigations. We have 3.5 years left of Trump. So,
Man, there's a really good guy. I'll have to look this up, but he's all for Gavin Newsom. What Gavin Newsom's doing, he thinks that like we should be fighting harder. He's in a runoff right now, and his name. We seen this guy, Richard Ojeda. He's running in North Carolina 9. I'm not sure he's running against, but he was on Crystal Kyle and Friends.
okay.
He was talking. He was really good.
I did not see that.
He's very pro Gavin Newsom doing what he's doing right now, which is, and he's like, everybody needs to be doing this.
It seems like Gavin is picking up steam, and we've both said that we'd rather Gavin not be the nominee, but his approval rating in California with just California voters was like 33 or 35% just 2 or 3 months ago, and now it's like 78%. Like they love him.
Do you know why? Remember when
he's fighting back.
Remember when he came out with that podcast?
Oh, everybody hated that.
Oh, yeah, because he brought on Steve Bannon. He played nice with the left, and he kind of dabbled with being a centrist, going towards the right. And then that didn't work. Everybody hated him for that. So now he's like, okay, I'm going to go the complete opposite way. And that's what we want. We want a fighter, man.
I was going to say, I think here's what I think people are missing right now is people think you have to be far left and a fighter. I think you can be a centrist as long as you're a fighter, as long as you're sticking up to Trump. Like that's what people want. If you're center left,
look like?
Oh, a centrist would be like that kid in Texas, James Tallarico, something like that.
I don't know what his politics are.
I'd say he's a centrist.
He's a Democrat, right?
Yeah, I mean, 2 of the governors that are going to be in it, Shapiro and Andy Beshear, you would say are centrists. The governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, definitely a centrist. Gavin tried to rebrand as a centrist, but for him, it's pointless to even try that because he could put all his effort into trying to prove that he's not far left, and all they're going to do is point at California over and over and over in different laws that got passed while he was there. They're going to paint him to be far left. He might as well lean into it, is all I'm saying.
Well, hold on. Like, you're missing one big key to any of this is like authenticity, man.
Yeah, just be who you are.
Yeah, be who you are. And if you see something that's not good, call it out.
The thing about Gavin is I think that's a liability for Gavin Newsom because he doesn't seem authentic at all. He seems like he will change into whatever we want him to be. At first, he thought we wanted him to be a centrist, so he tried that out. It didn't work, and now he knows that we want a fighter, so he's doing that, and he's good at it. He's a chameleon.
I actually think he might be the fighter. I think he's been holding it back, and I feel like this is more authentic Gavin. Did you see his most recent interview?
Who was it with?
Oh, I don't remember, but he was on a rant, and he was talking about Trump, and he was like, that son of a bitch. And he was like, I'm sorry, like that was the president. And then he started talking Trump again. And he started saying, he was like, that goddamn. He was like, oh, I didn't mean to say.
Yeah.
He was like,
he's always been good at that. Like even when Biden was still the nominee, he was going on Fox News and debating Hannity and stuff. Like he's very good at that. And
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. This is his natural element. His authentic self is a fighter and I think he's found his lane, and it just took him a while he probably had somebody bad trying to give him advice, but like,
I guarantee somebody showed him some polling that made it look like the center left is the way to be. Like that's where you could win. And he tried it. And his problem was he was trying to find common ground with people on the right, which is fine. I have no problem with that. No. But then he was a lot of people have no problem with that. I know you don't because you're further left, but a lot of people have no problem with that. The problem is he was bringing in Steve Bannon and Charlie Kirk and like people who are kind of, if you're on the left, those people are not the people you want Gavin to be talking to. Like he should have brought in some center right people to talk to. He brought in Steve Bannon, for God's sakes.
Common ground.
You can find some common ground. Yeah. Now, the trick is
no wars.
You try to get them to find common ground on a left issue, like no new wars, bringing prices down, all that. But where he screwed up is he was jumping to their side to find common ground on the right side of the spectrum. And that's all the common ground he kept finding were on Republican issues. And it's like, no. If you're going to do this, you have to bring them to or maybe do a little bit of both. But he was never bringing them over to see the left side common ground.
Yeah, and I think the problem is there's not a lot of common ground. Like Trump says no new wars, and yet he's starting wars all around the world, and the Republicans are supporting everything he's doing.
So not all Republicans by any means. A lot of them are mad about all the military action. Now they're still supporting him, but I see it constantly. I could go through and name the people in my life that I see it from, but I see it. There's a lot of them that they're not thrilled with Trump right now because of the new war shit.
Yeah, but those people aren't going on podcasts. Let's talk about the politicians. They're running the show. What politicians?
Okay.
What politicians? Let's just go with this. What politicians are against Israel right now?
About half of the Democrats and only like 5 Republicans.
Dude, I was just looking at even the Democrats in Colorado all have taken AIPAC money.
Yeah.
This is insanity.
Yeah. I mean, that bill that was up recently, and it was to stop funding Israel with weapons, basically. I think like 20-ish senators voted for it, and they were all Democrat. Or actually, I think there was like a Rand Paul or somebody in there. Like one Republican went for it, and the rest. But you still had like 25 Dems that didn't vote for it. That they really want to keep giving weapons to Israel. So both sides
didn't vote on it.
Both sides. No, they voted. They voted to give the stuff to Israel. Oh. Yeah. So both sides have an Israel problem. Like the left has got a bigger group that's seeing the light, but it's still over half of the elected Democrats are pro-Israel. Over half easily, probably like 65% of them.
So these people, I mean, and these people pay attention. I mean, they know what's going on, and they're just taking money for themselves over the lives of millions of people in Palestine.
Well, yes,
Gaza.
You're right. Real quick, I want to back us.
And these are the people that we vote into office.
Yeah,
I just want to say this: like, I think everybody should look up how much money and the voting that they're doing for Israel in this next election, and don't vote for anybody that's taking money from Israel.
I guess there'd be a lot of races where you just can't vote because both sides are taking the same money.
Yeah, but there's got to be somebody in there that's not taking it, right?
I guarantee you there's a lot of races where both options take money from AIPAC. A lot.
I mean, I might even vote for a Republican if they weren't taking money from Israel.
Okay.
And the Democrat was at this point.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, a minute ago you said like there is no common ground, basically. What was your point? I can't remember how you said it, but
I didn't say there's not any, but it's
I think there's way more common ground. I gotta say, I think there's a lot of big issues that like both sides agree on, but like the media and the podcast ecosystem do such a good job of convincing us that we're far apart. But like when it comes to like abortion, universal background checks for guns, stuff like that, like the polling's ridiculous. It's like 81 or 82% of people think we should have universal background checks. Like 65 or 70% of people think that abortion should be legal till a certain point. And that point varies from like 20 to 24 weeks. But like on a lot of the big issues, I think there is a lot of consensus, but they try their damnedest to not let us realize that.
No, you're 100% right.
Okay.
And this is part of the media's problem, but it's also our politicians. Our politicians.
Oh, it's so much our politicians
completely screwing over their voters. And not voting in the way that their voters want. Like, let's just take a poll down in Texas, like legalization of marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
What's the percentage?
Oh, it's over 50 for sure. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Texas should have legal marijuana.
Yeah.
But who's not letting it happen? The Republican politicians.
Yes, and also like that. And that's one of those where like over 50% of the people of Texas would vote for it. But now if we just look at people that show up and vote, it's probably under 50% of the people that actually show up and vote. I don't know if it would pass. I don't know if it would pass a referendum. In Oklahoma, it's medically legal, and we had a referendum 2 years ago to have it just be recreational, and everybody thought, oh, it's definitely going to pass, and it got like 44% of the vote, and like 56 said no, and it's because like there were a lot of people that use recreational marijuana that like didn't show up to vote at all, didn't make a plan to vote, didn't even.
They're too high.
Yeah, they were just like, oh shit, we're gonna pass it, cool, and then they never went and voted. And
Yeah.
and there's some rule where that can't be on the ballot again for like 4 more years now, and it's like, well, anyhow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think this is what I think is that our politicians are not representing our people the way they should be.
They're not, but I would say they're also like manipulating our people because
Yeah.
I can't remember what you said a second ago, but it kind of made me realize this. Like, if ever there's a bad news story for Republicans, let's just say, like they will quickly try to be like, look, California is letting trans kids play sports, and like everybody kind of forgets about the other thing. Oh, they are, and then they're
Ted Cruz is diddling kids.
They're trying to do late term.
California has trans kids in sports. Hold on.
Exactly, but the left does that too, though. Like I guarantee, I can't think of a great example now, but like both sides try to, and the elected politicians is who I'm speaking of very much here. Like. If something's not going well for them, they try to find like a very polarizing issue to point at the other side and say, look what they're doing. And it's just killing me. Like,
oh, it kills me.
Yeah, we're not as far apart. I think it's who we're around all the time. You're not around a lot of Republicans. I'm around Trump voters nonstop. That's most of the people I see in my daily life. And like, I have talks with them about the issues all the time. And it's funny because like, it'll be like, oh, we're pretty much on the same page on this. But then if you say, hey, the Republicans are saying this and the Democrats are saying this, somebody will retreat to their side right away and just line up. But if you don't bring them into it and you just talk about the issue, like, turns out we're not far apart at all. Like, pretty
Most
ridiculous.
people want free health care and free education.
They need more affordable health care, one way or another. Like, what's going on with health care is not sustainable.
Yeah, but free would be nice. Or, government run healthcare, single payer healthcare would be nice, and then most people could agree on that if you told them how that would work, right?
The framing around that's where the problem is, because like the Republican wants to immediately say like there's no such thing as free healthcare. Like my taxes are going to go up, and it'll be less money that my taxes are raised than it costs me to get health insurance. So I'll really only be saving a couple $100 instead of like, oh, I don't have to pay for healthcare. You're paying for it one way or another. Now, if you just say, if you were to give me the option and say, hey, we can do universal health care and you'll save a couple $100, or we could fix the problems with the healthcare system and get it to where you'll have your choice between what plan and this and that, and the government's not going to run it, and you'll still get down to that savings. Like, I've seen how the government runs some shit. Like the DMV is a great example. And there's a part of me.
What's wrong with the DMV?
Well, for years, like going to the DMV is, I've never gone to a DMV where I've had a good time. You sit there forever.
When was the last time you went to the DMV?
3 years ago. I have to go every 2 years up here. But
you actually have to step in.
Yeah, because Oklahoma's weird. We don't have a DMV. We have tag agencies, and the tag agency is like the one-stop shop, and like they're franchised and like individually owned by people. But that's where you go to get your license plate, like all that stuff, your registration.
But you're also in a red state,
but in Texas.
In Texas, a red state, it wasn't horrible going to the DMV, but I only had to go like every 5 years. But when I moved to Colorado, dude, it was so nice. I moved, I got online, I scheduled my time. Like, okay, I'm gonna come in at noon. I walk in the door, I'm in and out within 15 minutes with my driver's license.
I'm impressed because my last DMV, like the last time I had to go to the DMV in Texas, somebody told me, they were like, yeah, you can schedule a time now. So I did that and I showed up at that time, and I think I still waited like 30 minutes. And then the process, even when it was like my turn, I had to go to this place and then I had to go over to that window. And it was just kind of like it wasn't a well-run thing at all. Like I don't trust.
Red states don't run shit well. That's the problem. They don't. This is the thing, is like the federal government puts money into the states to do stuff. And the Democrats, the blue states, use that money wisely and format their system very well. While the red states say, oh, we don't want this money, so we're going to, I don't know if they're like funneling money elsewhere, or they're just not hiring the right person to run these organizations, but there's something fishy going on is what I'm realizing.
So I think that like when it comes to DMVs, for example, like the federal government's only in their mind giving part of the money. Like, hey, we're going to give you this to help you out, but you have to use some state money also. And blue states have higher taxes generally, and that money goes to different things, and the DMV is probably one of them. So you probably are dealing with a more well-funded DMV in a blue state than you are in a red state, and that funding equals manpower and
Sure.
stuff. So I'll bet that's the issue.
Smart. And we have higher education, better education here. So the people that are running the DMV are probably smarter.
Are there any red states that have like really good schools? I'm wondering.
It's a good question.
Part of me wanted to say Florida, but definitely not Florida.
No.
Not Texas. Not any. It's got to be a northern red state. Is there any northern red states? There's not.
There's no.
Like there's the Dakotas and Montana, but that's
Dakota,
not.
maybe? Rankings, education. Colorado. Wow. Colorado's number 9. New Jersey is number 1.
New Jersey's a blue state.
Florida's number 22. Utah's number 5. That's a red state, right?
Yeah. They swing a little bit, but I'd say
Yeah. Massachusetts is number 2. New Jersey is number 1.
yeah. Massachusetts is like a totally blue state, and they rank in the top 5 in everything.
Wisconsin 7. Connecticut, they're blue. They're 3. Yeah. I mean,
So Utah.
is number 4. It's a small state, and I feel like they're only red because of the Mormon community.
Yeah. I'm asking AI. Yeah, it's a red state.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Mormons probably help them. Yeah, Salt Lake City. I'm trying to think, what other city is in Utah? Provo, something like that. And that's
Nebraska's number 9.
okay. Nebraska's a red state, but like the Lincoln area is incredibly blue. And that's where most of the population is.
Oh wait, the last numbers I just told you were actually fiscal stability. I don't know
okay.
how I got there, but
That's not at all what we were talking about.
no, I clicked something. I clicked next, and it went to fiscal stability. Oh no, it wants me to sign up. U.S. News. Anyway, yeah. So,
yeah. All right, I got one more thing that I'm gonna be done with my stuff, and this is I saved a funny for last. But did you see we're making some upgrades to the border wall? This ain't gonna be any just regular old border wall here. Trump, he got to thinking. Okay, we've got some problems with the border wall, right? Mainly, it's just people keep climbing it. I don't know if you've seen all the videos over the past.
people are climbing it,
dude. Have you not seen? They go right up that wall. Like there's.
Wait, I thought we're at 100% no border crossings.
So I haven't seen videos recently, but in general, like over the last 4 years during the Biden years, I saw so many videos, and like it's amazing how fast they get up the wall. Like there's some guy, they must be like arborists or something because they just like anyhow. Trump wants to find a way to get them to stop climbing the wall. Can you think if this is a problem? What are the best ways to get people to stop climbing the wall?
Barbed wire. You just put barbed wire on there.
That would be seen as like mean, so they can't do razor wire on top of the wall. I'm sure they would, but
nobody's going to try and do it if there's razor wire on there.
The imagery would be bad there. Any other ideas?
Spikes.
Okay, you're not on it.
Electric.
I'm going to let your favorite person, Miss Kirsty Noam, tell you about this.
God.
Remember that a nation without borders is no nation at all. And we're so thankful that we have a president that understands that and understands that a secure border is important to our country's future. Now, if you look at the structure that's behind me, it's tall, which makes it very, very difficult to climb, almost impossible. It also goes deep into the ground, which would make it very difficult, if not impossible, to dig under. And today, we are also going to be painting it black. That is specifically at the request of the president, who understands that in the hot temperatures down here, when something is painted black, it gets even warmer, and it will make it even harder for people to climb. So we are going to be painting the entire southern border wall black to make sure that we encourage individuals to not come into our country illegally, to not break our federal laws, but that they will abide and come to our country the right way so that they can stay and have the opportunity to become United States citizens and pursue the American dream.
Didn't that kind of seem like an SNL skit? Like like listening to it, I'm like, that's almost like it could be on SNL. You want to know the craziest part about this? Is Trump had this idea already in 2019. In 2019, they started painting certain sections of the border wall. They started painting certain sections black, like the highly climbed areas, and you wouldn't believe what happened. It didn't slow them down at all, and the paint started like peeling off within a year and a half. So they didn't.
Yeah, and that's just litter. You know what? I'm still mad that if we're gonna build a border wall, couldn't we have built it on the other side of the Rio Grande and take the Rio Grande back?
I'm sure that Trump would have loved to do that, but that would have been a land grab. And like actually we built it to where it's the wall and then like a little bit of American land up to the actual border.
Yeah, so we just gave Mexico land.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we still own that, but that's no man's
land. And the Rio Grande.
Yeah, no access to the Rio Grande. I don't know what to tell you, man. But like I said, they already tried painting it black once. Do you think that Trump is aware that like gloves are readily available in Mexico?
I'm sure.
And not expensive because like all you need is a pair of gloves and you're going to be all right. Also, turns out a lot of them climb it at night. That's the best time to cross. Is
totally.
At night. Sun's not out. The black doesn't matter. I've seen like 8.
And the paint probably gives you a little extra grip too.
Probably does. I've seen like 8 different tweets that are saying what the cost is to paint the whole thing, and they're so like one of them was like $2 million and one of them was $1 billion. So I don't know what the cost is. I don't believe any of them. But like, why are we doing that? It's not really gonna affect things. And I don't know
how much is Snap a year?
I don't know how much total. I know they cut a couple $100 million off of Snap, 300 million.
300 million. So you could do Snap like times 3.
Do you know that like the Golden Gate Bridge?
300.
Do you know about painting the Golden Gate Bridge?
Yeah.
So they paint it all one way, and then as soon as they get done, they got to stop and repaint it going the other way.
And
like the border wall starts peeling after a year and a half. Like, is this just going to be like are we going to have like 2 crews along the southern border that are just painting until they meet in the middle, then go back and paint the other way? Like, what are we doing here?
And if it peels, when paint peels, it's more microplastics and toxins on the soil and in our water, floating through the air. Like when is the United States ever going to figure it out, man? This is crazy.
So I asked real quick, I Googled how much will it cost to paint the border wall black? And as soon as I typed how much will it cost to paint, it auto-completed to the border wall black. So people are guessing this. The AI says it would cost hundreds of millions to billions of dollars to paint the border wall black, depending on the type of paint used and how many miles are covered. And
200 what?
It says between hundreds of millions of dollars and $1 billion, somewhere in that range. Hundreds of million to $1 billion. Says in August 2025, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced a plan to paint the entire steel border wall black at the request of President Trump. Estimated cost. So if it's acrylic paint, it's $1.2 million per mile. If it's military grade epoxy coating, it's $4.5 million per mile. If it's powder coating, it's $3 billion for the whole wall. That's according to the Washington Post. But $1.2 million per mile for the cheapest paint.
These people are dumb.
We can't afford health insurance and food for poor and food for these countries in Africa, but we can paint the border wall and spend $3 billion on it.
I can't support cancer research for children.
Yeah, I even saw that apparently
we can do a $2 million flyover for Putin.
Dude, apparently a university in Florida has made a breakthrough with like curing cancer using mRNA. I didn't read the article. I don't know, but it's like, oh, mRNA, the thing that we just cut all funding into, like super.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
No. Anyhow, that's all I got for tonight. You got anything else?
Yeah, we didn't talk about alligator Alcatraz being shut down.
Okay, yeah, we mentioned it for a second. I'll say I'm not celebrating that yet. A federal judge ordered that it has to be closed within 60 days and that no new people can come in. And it's because of environmental reasons, actually. A Indian tribe, whatever Indian tribe, like that's their reservation or whatever, they are the ones that sued and claimed that all the generators and blah, 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 are things running off of gas. It's hurting the environment. And the only reason I'm not celebrating yet is because I'll bet this will change 2 or 3 more times. Like it's going to go to the next level and it'll probably get overturned the other way. Then that'll get appealed. Then it'll go to the next level. And I think it's going to work its way all the way to the Supreme Court. I could be wrong, but I don't think this is.
So it's environmental groups and the Mikosuke tribe. Mikosuke. Yeah.
So like I said, this ain't over yet. Maybe each level will agree with that tribe, but I think this is going to work its way up. So good victory for now. Got to keep it going. Anything else you got?
Have you heard about the Putin body double?
I've seen all the rumors and the videos that supposedly it was his worst body double apparently that he sent to Alaska.
I mean, he was making a lot of weird facial expressions, which I don't really see Putin doing, right? Like,
I don't know. So here's the thing: is I'd like to think that this is a movie, and like the president of the United States has 3 or 4 body doubles, and like sometimes it's a double when security risks and all. But I also kind of don't. I think that we would have caught it by now, or somebody would have leaked it, and we don't ever get that. So I think that's only in the movies. I think that was Putin in Alaska. Well, I remember one of my family members called me when Biden was running for office, and they were 100% sure that like whoever had just spoke was a Biden body double, and it had like a picture of him standing next to Trump, and he was like as tall as Trump, if not taller, and like the real Biden's only 6'2", but then this picture he's taller, and I saw all that, and at the end I still think that was Biden. Trump stands kind of hunched over, so.
He is really hunchy, isn't he?
Yeah, he does. And all the way back to what you said at the beginning, he looks so tired every time he talks now. And then today there was actually, like when he had that makeup covering up the back of his hand, and people were saying it was like thick today. Like you could notice it from a mile away. So he's still got that going on. His ankles look terrible in Alaska. Alex Jones thinks he's going to keel over in the next 12 months. That might. Hear me out on this, but that might be the best thing that could happen to the Republican Party right now. Because if he keels over and then Vance comes in and Vance says, I really don't think we should do the tariffs and all that, and he takes all the tariffs off, that will stimulate the economy instantly. And the economy will be roaring going into the midterms. It's the best thing, because Trump can't really backtrack right now, but Vance could. Vance could come in and...
It wouldn't surprise me if they're poisoning him either.
I don't know. And also... You know how Elon Musk had said he was going to start his own third party? And that's, if you're a Democrat, that's something to celebrate because he's only going to take votes from the right. So that would be great. Apparently, he has canceled that idea, and he is fully intending to like put his full force behind J.D. Vance in 2028.
J.D. Vance?
Yeah. Dude, the Silicon Valley guys love J.D. Vance. Peter Thiel and Elon, that's their boy. Oh, yeah. Like they were lobbying for him to be the...
Well, that's because what the rich want is a lapdog who's going to like destroy... most of the people so that the rich can control the earth and use the earth as their own little playground.
If Trump doesn't like really screw this country up, which it's 50-50 in my mind right now, like we could skate through this somehow or like things could go south. If he doesn't screw it up, I think JD Vance is going to be really hard to beat in 2028, like really hard to beat. Like the right really likes him. And a lot of the centrists like, oh, JD Vance, like he's seen hillbilly allergy. Like, He's not frightening to them at all.
Yeah.
He's gonna be hard to beat. Him and Gavin would be interesting just for like the debates and the sparring back and forth in the media because they're both kind of.
Is JD very good at debates? I don't think he is
he? He's not bad. He's not great, but he's not bad.
Okay.
I think Gavin's better than him, but I don't know. I'm telling you right now. I'm very afraid at this point that it's going to be Trump till 28 and then Vance for like 8 years after that.
Oh, no.
12 straight years of Republican rule.
Oh, God. I mean, we're going to be.
Yeah.
The world's going to be kind of fooled.
But
I'm just share this with you.
Okay, what do you got?
All right. This is not a very good photo, or picture. This is a representation of our space junk.
Oh man, yeah, I saw something about this a couple weeks ago.
Dude, did you know there's 130 million pieces that are 1 millimeter or more?
I believe. I was wondering recently because especially now with Starlink doing like a web across the sky, like when they launch launch rockets into space, do they have to like pay attention to like where the gaps are and like how to like not make sure you don't hit a satellite on your way?
Yeah, I was just watching something where they were talking about the space station is like in danger, and there's a whole team of people that watch space junk. And when space junk is about to collide with the space station, because even like a something this the size of a little bolt, if it hits the space station, it just destroys it and
Oh
everybody.
yeah.
And just recently, they had to evacuate the space station and get in their little shuttles and like pop off because they
Uh,
thought space junk was going to hit it.
I didn't see that. I kind of don't believe that. I feel like that'd be I would have
I'll
seen
send you
that
a
for
link.
sure. Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
no, we're
yeah. So there's 130 million pieces of our trash navigating the atmosphere at
it's
this
not our, I
point.
mean it's, it is our trash, but I mean it's old satellites.
It's our trash. It's our
Yeah.
junk. Yeah.
Yeah, old
And
satellite.
we have,
So China's in I think they've already done it, but they've invented a satellite that can like go up and grab other satellites. And like we need to get with them and get them to start getting the ones that aren't in use anymore. And like if you crash them back into the atmosphere at the right angle, they just burn up in the atmosphere. And
yeah,
we should
but we're
start
just
doing that.
wasting resources at that time. I mean, we are devastating this world of resources. Like, why
Yeah.
can't we build something in space like the space station, but maybe a little bit bigger where you can pull those satellites in, deconstruct them, take the parts off and like recycle those parts in.
You'd have to like be shipping those back to Earth somehow from the space station. I don't know how you would do that.
And I think I'm thinking that the reason we're starting to like really look at the moon as like a our next home base is because the space station's in like it's always in like danger, right? And at some point, like the space station might get hit by something.
They say that the reason they're looking at the moon so much is because to go to Mars, because of Earth's gravity and how much energy it takes to get away from Earth, how much fuel you have to burn, it would make sense to go from the Earth to moon and then like refuel there and then take off from the moon to Mars.
Yeah, but why? I mean, I don't understand why we don't already have like a base on the moon or like a hotel on the moon even. Like people can make billions of dollars.
Space travel is dangerous. That's why.
Wouldn't you go live on a hotel? Wouldn't you go stay on the hotel on the moon for a couple days?
Not
Wouldn't
for
that
a
be cool?
minute. You couldn't give me enough money to make me do that.
That's right. You don't like plane.
I don't like risk. That's why we don't have a hotel on the moon. Have you ever seen Total Recall?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Something like that.
mean, you're in a hellhole of a terrible environment with no oxygen and like one puncture in the dome and everything's over. Yeah, that's why there's not a hotel on the moon.
No, we could do it. I mean, Elon wants to live on Mars. Like, we should have a hotel on the moon, and you could do oh, hey, kayak in space, and you like get your kayak, and you could like paddle in space.
Mm,
Mountain biking on the moon, dude. How cool would that be?
yeah, I'll tell you this. I don't think Elon's gonna get to Mars before I die. I'll be shocked if he does. And
Hmm.
we might get somebody to Mars, but they're gonna die there alone. Like the thought of like, oh, there's like once you land, you go into the dome and like everything's normal. No, we're not even close to that.
We're not going to go to Mars. No,
Yeah,
not definitely not in our lifetime. Elon's an idiot. Elon,
he's not an idiot. He's
he's an idiot.
obsessed with going to Mars and becoming an interplanetary species.
Hold on,
And
he's a complete and utter fucking moron. Let's just be honest.
you know, you know those people that are like really book smart, but like the dumbest people you ever talk to, but they're like also on the dean's list.
I don't think he's that book smart.
I think he's got to be. I mean, you could say a lot. I could talk smack about Elon all day long, but like he's smart. Like I wouldn't. I've heard him talk enough. He's a smart dude. He's just autistically smart. He's awkwardly smart.
What is he smart about? I mean I've heard him talk too, and I don't remember ever hearing him say anything actually smart. Like I think he knows some stuff, but I think he's smart enough to surround himself with smart people. But like, is he actually building the rockets? No.
I can't even argue this with you because I'm ashamed to have to be sitting here saying like Elon's not dumb, but yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna say he's dumb, but there's something wrong with him.
there's something wrong with him. Yeah, he's got all kinds of issues, but he's also a genius in a lot of ways. I'm gonna say like
No, don't say that
okay,
word. No,
okay,
you're not saying genius. If you say genius, you have to back it up with something.
yeah, I got nothing. I'm just telling you,
Okay.
if you want to think that he's a dummy and he's not smart,
He's
you
the
can feel
smartest,
that way.
he's the richest man in the world, so he's got something going on.
He
But he
does.
also, how much money did he start his career with?
A diamond mine worth of money. I don't know. His
Yeah,
family owned a diamond mine in South Africa.
exactly.
Yeah. But
Exactly.
he's made some good business decisions. He's not an engineer. He's not a scientist, but like he's also made some great decisions, which makes me think he'd have to be a little smart for that.
Netflix or what was it? What was his first venture where he made all his money?
Pay
PayPal.
PayPal.
Yeah, so he made a bunch of money in PayPal, which was just an investment, right? He just invested, and then he started buying up companies. And remember, he bought up Tesla, which he's crashed at this point. He also bought up Twitter, which he's crashed at this point.
Even SpaceX he bought.
He bought SpaceX.
But
So
you say
he's never started a company.
but you say he's crashed them. His net worth is growing exponentially, constantly. So
Yeah,
like maybe the goal isn't to make Twitter profitable, it's for him to be controlling the world.
I think you're right. I think
Yeah.
he wants to control the world, but I don't think he's going to get there. He's already kind of failed with Trump because he can't get along with people.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're right. I mean, we go on and on. I don't think he's as smart as we think he is, as people think he is.
I think he's smart. I think you can be smart and crazy at the same time. And he's smart and crazy.
Maybe smart and
And
crazy.
I think we've witnessed him deteriorating in front of our eyes in like the last 4 or 5 years. Like he was always awkward and like autistic, but now he's like Twitter brained on top of it, and it's not good for
ketamine brained.
yeah, it's ketamine for sure. Rogan's talked about how like his mental health is not good. Like Rogan said that several times.
Hmm.
So like the Twitter is not good for him. So
All right.
good to talk to you, man. We'll talk early next week, man. Have a good night.
Like, subscribe, comment,
All the
good
things.
things.
Yeah.
Peace.
Later.
Sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you.